Part 1. The Opulent Facade and Hidden Heart. Elias Thorne stood at the edge of his penthouse balcony, the city sprawling beneath him like a glittering sea of lights. The skyline of Manhattan was a testament to his success, a symphony of steel and glass that reflected his immense wealth. He was the quintessential billionaire, impeccably dressed in tailored suits, his dark hair perfectly styled, and a smile that could charm even the most discerning of critics. To the world, Elias was a man who had it all: power, prestige, and the kind of fortune that could buy anything he desired. Yet beneath this polished exterior lay a gnawing secret that clawed at his insides. Elias had crafted a life that was meticulously curated, yet it was not entirely his own. He had built an empire, but he had also built walls that kept him from the one thing he truly desired: love. The love he couldn't openly claim. As he sipped his whiskey, the amber liquid catching the light, he thought of Anya Petrova. She was the one person who had managed to breach his defenses, the one who saw beyond the opulent facade he presented to the world. Their connection was electric, a spark that ignited a fire within him that he had long thought extinguished. But their love was a secret, hidden away from prying eyes and judgmental whispers. Elias's phone buzzed, pulling him from his reverie. It was a message from his assistant, reminding him of the charity gala he was expected to attend that evening. He sighed, knowing that the event would be filled with the same faces, the same superficial conversations. He would smile, shake hands, and play the role of the perfect billionaire. But inside he would be yearning for the one person who made him feel alive. As he prepared for the gala, he couldn't shake the feeling of being trapped in a gilded cage. The world saw him as a man of privilege, but they didn't see the loneliness that lurked beneath the surface. He had built this life, but at what cost? The more he climbed the social ladder, the more isolated he felt. "Elias, you look dashing as always," a voice purred as he entered the grand ballroom, the sound of laughter and clinking glasses filling the air. It was Veronica, a socialite known for her beauty and ambition. She approached him with a practiced smile, her eyes glinting with interest. "Thank you, Veronica," he replied, forcing a smile. "You look lovely as well." As they chatted, Elias's mind wandered to Anya. He could almost feel her presence beside him, her laughter like music in his ears. He longed to reach for her hand, to pull her close and forget the world around them. But he couldn't. Not here, not now. The evening wore on, and Elias played his part flawlessly, but his heart was elsewhere. He caught glimpses of couples dancing, their love on display for all to see, and it only deepened his sense of longing. He was a man torn between two worlds, the one that demanded he maintain his image and the one that whispered of a love that could set him free. As the gala came to a close, Elias stepped outside for a breath of fresh air. The cool night air wrapped around him like a comforting embrace, and for a moment he closed his eyes, imagining a life where he could be with Anya openly. But reality crashed back in, reminding him of the life he had built. He was Elias Thorne, a billionaire with a reputation to uphold. And in this world, love was a luxury he could not afford. Part 2. Unveiling the clandestine connection. Anya Petrova had always been drawn to the thrill of the unknown. Growing up in a small town, she had dreamed of a life filled with adventure and excitement. When she met Elias Thorne at a charity event, she felt an instant connection, a spark that ignited something deep within her. Their paths crossed in a whirlwind of laughter and stolen glances, each moment charged with an undeniable chemistry. Anya was captivated by Elias's charm, his intelligence, and the way he made her feel seen in a world that often overlooked her. But she was also aware of the barriers that separated them: a billionaire and a woman from a modest background. Despite the odds, they embarked on a clandestine romance, their meetings filled with whispered secrets and passionate embraces. They would steal away to hidden corners of the city, where they could be themselves without the weight of the world pressing down on them. "Do you ever think about what it would be like if we didn't have to hide?" Anya asked one evening as they sat on a rooftop overlooking the city, the stars twinkling above them. Elias's gaze was intense as he turned to her. "Every day," he admitted, his voice low. "But my life, it's complicated. There are expectations, responsibilities. I can't just walk away from it all." Anya felt a pang in her heart. She understood the weight of his world, the pressures that came with his immense wealth. But she also knew that their love was real, something worth fighting for. "I don't want to be a secret, Elias. I want to be with you openly." He reached for her hand, intertwining their fingers. "You are not just a secret to me, Anya. You mean everything. But I need time to figure this out." Their relationship blossomed in the shadows, each stolen moment more precious than the last. They would meet in quiet cafes, share laughter over candlelit dinners, and lose themselves in each other's arms, the world outside fading away. But as their emotional intimacy deepened, so did the challenges of keeping their love hidden. Elias's business empire demanded his attention, and the societal expectations weighed heavily on his shoulders. He was torn between the life he had built and the love that threatened to upend it all. "Elias, we can't keep living like this," Anya said one night, her voice tinged with frustration. "I want to be a part of your world, not just a fleeting moment in it." He sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I know, and I want that too. But if we go public, it could jeopardize everything I've worked for. My family, my business. It's all at stake." Anya's heart sank. She understood the stakes, but the thought of living in the shadows was becoming unbearable. "I love you, Elias. I don't want to hide anymore." "I love you too," he replied, his voice filled with sincerity. "But we need to be careful. I can't lose you, Anya. You're worth fighting for." Their love was a delicate dance, filled with passion and uncertainty. They navigated the complexities of their relationship, each moment a reminder of the risks they faced. But the thrill of their forbidden romance only fueled their desire, igniting a fire that burned brightly in the darkness. As they continued to meet in secret, the world outside remained oblivious to the love story unfolding beneath the opulent facade of Elias Thorne. But with each passing day, the weight of their hidden life grew heavier, and the question loomed: how long could they keep their love a secret? Part 3. The Weight of Secrecy. The thrill of their clandestine romance began to morph into a heavy burden as the weeks turned into months. Anya and Elias found themselves caught in a web of secrecy, each encounter tinged with the fear of exposure. The weight of their hidden marriage pressed down on them, threatening to unravel the delicate threads of their love. Elias was a master at maintaining his public persona, but the strain was beginning to show. He was constantly on edge, his mind racing with thoughts of Anya and the life they could have together. Each time he stepped into the spotlight, he felt the walls closing in, the pressure mounting as he juggled his responsibilities with his desire for her. "Elias, we can't keep doing this," Anya said one evening as they sat in a dimly lit restaurant, their fingers entwined beneath the table. "It's exhausting, and I'm scared of what will happen if someone finds out." He looked at her, his expression pained. "I know, Anya. But I can't risk everything I've built. My family, my business. They won't understand." "Maybe they don't need to understand," she replied, her voice steady. "Maybe we just need to be honest about who we are." Elias sighed, running a hand through his hair. "It's not that simple. There are expectations, obligations. I can't just walk away from it all." Their conversations often spiraled into heated debates, the tension between them palpable. Anya felt the emotional toll of their secret life weighing heavily on her heart. She longed for the freedom to love Elias openly, to share their joy without the constant fear of being discovered. One night, as they met in a secluded park, the air thick with unspoken words, Anya's frustration boiled over. "Elias, I can't keep pretending that everything is fine. I love you, but this secrecy is tearing me apart." He stepped closer, his gaze intense. "I love you too, Anya. But we have to be careful. I can't lose you, and I can't afford to lose my empire either." Their relationship was a tightrope walk, each step fraught with danger. They had to navigate the complexities of Elias's world while keeping their love alive. But the fear of exposure loomed large, and the stakes were higher than ever. As the days passed, they found themselves in increasingly precarious situations. Anya's heart raced each time she spotted a familiar face in the crowd, the fear of being recognized gnawing at her. They had to be vigilant, always looking over their shoulders, and the thrill of their romance began to feel like a ticking time bomb. One evening, while attending a charity event, Anya spotted a journalist she recognized from the tabloids. Panic surged through her as she grabbed Ilyas's arm. "We need to leave. Now." Ilyas's eyes widened as he scanned the room. "Stay close to me," he murmured, leading her through the crowd. The tension was palpable as they navigated the throngs of people, their hearts racing in sync. Just as they reached the exit, a flash of light caught their attention. A photographer had spotted them, and before they could react, the camera clicked, capturing a moment that could shatter their carefully constructed world. "Ilyas!" Anya gasped, her heart pounding. "What if they find out?" He pulled her close, his voice low and urgent. "We'll figure it out. Just stay calm." But the fear of exposure was a constant shadow, lurking in the corners of their lives. They had to be more cautious than ever, and the strain of their hidden marriage began to seep into their everyday interactions. "Anya, we need to talk," Ilyas said one evening, his tone serious. They were in his penthouse, the city lights twinkling outside the window. "What's wrong?" she asked, her heart racing. "I'm worried about the media. If they find out about us, it could ruin everything," he admitted, his brow furrowed. Anya felt a knot form in her stomach. "I know. But we can't keep living like this. It's suffocating." Ilyas stepped closer, his expression softening. "I don't want to lose you. You're worth fighting for, but I need to protect my family and my business." Tears welled in Anya's eyes as she realized the depth of their predicament. "I love you, Ilyas, but I can't keep hiding forever." The weight of secrecy hung heavy in the air, a reminder of the challenges they faced. Their love was real, but the world around them was unforgiving. As they navigated the complexities of their hidden marriage, the question loomed: how long could they endure the strain before it all came crashing down? Part 4. The Catalyst for Exposure. The delicate balance of Ilyas and Anya's secret life began to unravel with a series of unexpected events. It started innocently enough. A chance encounter at a gala, a whispered conversation that was overheard, and before they knew it, their hidden world was on the brink of exposure. Ilyas had been attending a high-profile charity event, the kind that attracted the city's elite. He had promised Anya he would be careful, but the pressure of maintaining his public image weighed heavily on him. As he mingled with guests, he felt the familiar tug of longing for her presence, the ache of wanting to share his life openly. "Ilyas, darling, you must meet my friend," a socialite exclaimed, pulling him into a conversation. He plastered on a smile, but his mind was elsewhere. He scanned the room, searching for a glimpse of Anya, wishing she could be by his side. Meanwhile, Anya was at home, anxiously scrolling through social media. She had seen the photos from the gala, and her heart sank as she noticed the comments speculating about Ilyas's love life. The whispers were growing louder, and the fear of exposure loomed like a dark cloud. Just as she was about to call him, her phone buzzed with a message from a mutual friend. "Did you hear? There are rumors about Ilyas and a mystery woman. People are talking." Anya's heart raced. He felt a mix of dread and anger. How could they let it come to this? Their love was real, yet it was being reduced to gossip and speculation. Back at the gala, Ilyas felt a shift in the atmosphere. He overheard snippets of conversation, laughter that felt pointed, and glances that lingered a moment too long. The tension in the air was palpable, and he knew they were on borrowed time. "Ilyas, is it true? Are you seeing someone?" a reporter asked, her eyes gleaming with curiosity. He forced a smile, deflecting the question. "I'm focused on my work right now. No time for distractions." But the damage was done. The seed of doubt had been planted, and the media frenzy began. Whispers turned into headlines, and before long, the world was speculating about the identity of the mysterious woman in Ilyas Thorne's life. Anya's phone buzzed incessantly with notifications, each one more alarming than the last. She felt her heart sink as she read the headlines. "Billionaire Ilyas Thorne's secret love affair exposed." Panic surged through her. She quickly dialed Ilyas, her hands shaking. "Ilyas, it's happening. They're talking about us." "Stay calm, Anya. I'll handle it," he replied, his voice steady but laced with urgency. But as the days passed, the media frenzy escalated. Paparazzi camped outside Ilyas's office, and every public appearance became a spectacle. Anya felt like a ghost, haunting the edges of Ilyas's life, unable to step into the light without fear of being torn apart by the press. "Ilyas, we can't keep hiding," she said one night, her voice trembling. "They're going to find out everything." He ran a hand through his hair, frustration etched on his face. "I know, but I need to protect you. If they find out who you are, it could ruin everything." Anya felt a surge of anger. "What about us? What about our love? I can't keep living in the shadows." The tension between them was palpable, the weight of their secret life threatening to crush their bond. They were at a crossroads, and the fear of exposure loomed larger than ever. As the media continued to speculate, Ilyas found himself in a race against time. He had to control the narrative before it spiraled out of control. He called an emergency meeting with his public relations team, determined to find a way to manage the situation. "We need to address the rumors head-on," he said, his voice firm. "I won't let them dictate my life." But as he strategized, he couldn't shake the feeling of impending doom. The walls were closing in, and the truth was about to come crashing down. Part 5. Consequences and a New Dawn. The inevitable exposure of Ilyas and Anya's marriage sent shockwaves through their lives. The media frenzy reached a fever pitch, and the world watched as the scandal unfolded. Headlines screamed of betrayal and deception, painting Ilyas as a man who had hidden his love from the world. Anya felt the weight of the world on her shoulders as she scrolled through the articles. The comments were ruthless and the scrutiny was relentless. She had never wanted to be in the spotlight, yet here she was, thrust into the public eye, her life dissected by strangers. Ilyas's empire trembled under the pressure. Investors grew wary, and the media painted him as a reckless billionaire who had jeopardized everything for a secret love. The fallout was immediate and devastating. "Ilyas, we need to talk," his business partner said, his voice tense. "This scandal is affecting our bottom line. We can't afford this kind of distraction." Ilyas felt a knot form in his stomach. "I understand, but I won't let them dictate my life. Anya is worth fighting for." But the reality was harsh. The public's reaction was mixed. Some rallied behind him while others condemned him for his choices. The whispers of scandal echoed in every corner of his world, and the pressure was suffocating. Meanwhile, Anya faced her own demons. She had never wanted to be a part of this world, and now she felt like a pawn in a game she didn't understand. The love she had for Ilyas was real, but the consequences of their secret life were becoming unbearable. "Ilyas, I can't do this," she said one evening, tears streaming down her face. "I love you, but I can't handle the scrutiny. It's tearing me apart." He reached for her, his heart aching at the sight of her pain. "I won't let them take you from me. We'll get through this together." But the strain was palpable and their relationship began to shift. The love that had once felt like a refuge now felt like a battleground. They were fighting for their love, but the world around them was relentless. As the scandal reached its peak, Ilyas made a bold decision. He called a press conference, determined to take control of the narrative. He stood before the cameras, his heart pounding, and spoke from the heart. "I want to address the rumors surrounding my personal life," he began, his voice steady. "Anya Petrova is not just a secret, she is my wife. Our love is real and I won't hide it any longer." The room fell silent, the weight of his words hanging in the air. He continued, sharing their story, the love that had blossomed in the shadows, the challenges they faced, and the sacrifices they made for one another. "I know this may come as a shock to many, but I refuse to let societal expectations dictate my happiness," he declared, his gaze unwavering. "Anya is my partner and I will fight for her." The response was immediate. Social media exploded with reactions and the public was divided. Some praised Ilyas for his honesty, while others condemned him for his choices. But amidst the chaos, Anya felt a sense of relief wash over her. Ilyas had chosen her, and in that moment she knew their love was worth fighting for. As the dust began to settle, they faced the consequences of their exposure together. The media frenzy eventually subsided, but the impact lingered. Ilyas's empire faced challenges, but he was determined to rebuild. to create a future that included Anya. Ilya's what now? Anya asked one evening as they sat on the balcony of his penthouse, the city lights twinkling below. He took her hand, his gaze steady. We move forward. Together. We'll face whatever comes next and we'll do it as partners. In that moment, Anya felt a flicker of hope. Their love had survived the storm, and now they had the chance to build a life free from the shadows. As they embraced, the weight of secrecy lifted, and the promise of a new dawn filled the air. They had fought for their love, and now they were ready to embrace the future, together. In a world that had once threatened to tear them apart, they had found strength in their bond. And as they stood together, hand in hand, they knew that love, in all its complexities, was worth every sacrifice. The end.